Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cm42TV, and it is 2019. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Happy New Year from everybody here on Cm42TV, everybody here. Well, from me. Happy New Year. Everybody on the Good Bit podcast, that's what I like to go with, because that's a range of people, innit? Yeah, Happy New Year. It's brand new, it's 2019, we're here, and 2018 is now in the rear view mirror. We're looking forward to the new year, and it's a very exciting time. It's this sort of time in my life where all the creative juices get flowing, and I love it. It happens maybe 3 or 4 times a year, whereas I'll get all these new ideas, and then for the next foreseeable future I'll do those ideas, and then I get stale on them, and then all the new ideas will come back again. So it just so happens to happen 2 years in a row at the start of the year, because last January, or even like December 2017 going into January 2018, I was just like busting with these ideas. I just had all these things I wanted to do to grow the YouTube channel and to kind of get new videos up and running and that sort of thing. And then as the year went on, as I said in one of my last videos, it was always like, I have to try and do this and meet this deadline and make sure I complete this series and make sure I start this new one. And it was always like, YouTube was just on the go with me, like in my head. It was always that, and the podcast. Like it was a very creative year, which is great. Especially for me, who considers themselves to be a quite creative person. I like to think that, in general, I always like to be a bit creative. I'm not very good at just sitting about doing nothing. However, on days off or whatever, when I'm just lying about watching the telly, like I feel like I need to go and do something. But that could be, editing a video or vlogging or making a video or something. Like even this is doing something, it's better than just sitting about doing nothing. But I completely condone sitting about doing nothing, because that's great too, and obviously we need downtime, but I can't do it for too much, longer than a couple of hours. I can watch a film or Raw or something like that, and that's fine, but then I need to kind of do something, where it be something to do with YouTube or the podcast or something like that. So it's a very creative time for me, which is great, because that always keeps me thinking and keeps me on my toes. So with that being said, this time last year I had all these new ideas, and we put them to use and we put them into plan, and lots of them worked, lots of them didn't, which is fine, that's normal. And now we're here a year later, January 2019, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and it's just so dark outside. I had to put my fancy light on. It looks like it's like 8 o'clock at night, but it's 2 in the afternoon. We're now at the start of a new year, and I have even more ideas in my head and lots of new plans for the year going forward, and that's it's very exciting. I'm just so looking forward to getting pure stuck in and get rolling here, because last year when that happened, I was kind of blind to how much fun it would be to literally run a channel properly. Like throughout my whole years on YouTube, it's always been, the same sort of videos. We'll talk about wrestling this day, and then talk about my Blu-rays that day. Whereas, in 2018, I had lots of different series and lots of different types of content. It would kind of keep me on my toes in terms of what should be going up next, what I still need to film, what isn't really working. So it was a really, educational year for me, I guess. And now going forward, I'm looking forward to seeing what else I learned in 2019. I'm sure it'll be a lot more. So in terms of like series that I did in 2018 that are carrying on in the new year, it's pretty much, a landslide. Lots of them are going to continue, Like the 100 movies bucket list series, that's obviously, we're only on episode 8, I think. So that's going to, continue, obviously. And then we have the good bit episodes, the video versions of my podcast. Now, sometimes I'll film the podcast as we're recording it. I'll just set the camera up and I'll just record us talking. There's no, indication to the video. There's no, like, lighting adjustments or we're, facing the camera the right way or anything like that. It's literally just like a fly on the wall thing. It's like the camera's there and it's pointing at us talking. The focus is the microphone and that, And if that happens, and if the video is good enough, I'll put that version out on YouTube. Because obviously I'm uploading all the podcasts to YouTube, and as I said before, I'm trying to get to the point where it's going to be, on the day that the podcast drops, it's going to drop on YouTube on Cm42TV as well. So there's like different, ways to listen. So if I have a good copy of a video, I can make that a YouTube exclusive. So if you want to listen to the audio, you can download the podcast, but you can see it, and you can watch it on YouTube. That might be quite cool. But sometimes it's quite hard to, film the podcast depending on where we are. If we're in this room, this is Good Bit Studios, then it's fine. I can manipulate it, and that's fine. But obviously, if we're traveling and going into other people's homes and flats and that sort of thing, flats, I mean studios. Then obviously it depends on the circumstances. It depends on what they have about and stuff, you know. So it's fine. I recorded that Christmas one we did, and I didn't even think about it. I just set the camera up and we talked in the podcast. And although the podcast is really good, the video's all like squinty and it's a bad angle and stuff, so I don't know if I'm going to use the video, but it was an option anyway. So there we go. That's that. They're going to be continuing. Also, I want to kind of incorporate some like video series that are like surrounding the podcast, right? One of them being, I want to do good bit interviews, right? Bear with me here. I want to kind of, when we film an episode of the good bit or record an episode, then after that we could set up the camera here or whatever on my couch or whatever and just chat to whoever was on the episode with me and just kind of interview them and just kind of get their take on life and, you know, not to get too deep, but like their life experiences with like movies and cinema philosophy and that sort of thing, like what they think in terms of their favourite movie tastes and what makes a film great to them and that sort of thing, you know. And you know, it's kind of like, I've always wanted my own show where I'm like interviewing folk and asking them questions. And I guess the good bit is kind of like that. However, because I'm involved in the conversation, I am the host, but I'm also just as big of the conversation as anybody else who's on the show. So it's kind of like, I like the fact that I introduce the show and it's like, okay, I'm the host, but let's get into the chat. Whereas an interview would be like, I am interviewing you, you know. That's an idea. I kind of want to do that. And also, you know me, right? My YouTube channel, which is my YouTube channel, just wouldn't be the same without wrestling chat. For years, it's always been wrestling and movies. A little bit of wrestling here, a little bit of movies, man. That's always been the case, and it's not going to change. It's just, it can never change. I could never look at myself in the mirror knowing that there's no more wrestling on my YouTube channel. So, I thought let's incorporate it again into the podcast. Let's kind of grow everything around the podcast. Because within 2017 and 2018, we had 1 or 2 wrestling podcasts on the good bits, right? And they were really good, they were really funny, got a lot of good downloads and a lot of good feedback from them. But there's just, maybe it's me with OCD and like, I'm not even that bad OCD, but just like organisation and stuff like that, you know? I didn't like the fact that it was all movie stuff and all movie episodes on the podcast feed. And then there was just one random wrestling one in there every 6 months. So I feel like if we're going to do wrestling stuff, let's do it more often. You know, or why bother? So here's what's going to happen. We're going to continue doing wrestling podcasts, of course we will, but they're going to be exclusive to YouTube, right? The Good Bit Wrestling Podcast will be launching on Cm42TV in 2019. And it'll just be the same as The Good Bit, and it'll be all wrestling chat. I'll be joined by 2 or 3 people, and we'll be chatting about wrestling. Current events, past events, a general topic, but it's going to be exclusive to Cm42TV. It's only going to be here. So that's the plan with that. Take it off the Good Bit feed and put it on Cm42TV where it belongs. Other ideas we have going forward with the Good Bit, I have, you know, ideas in terms of doing Q&As and stuff like that, and having wee series based on the personalities you hear on the show, like Ewan, you know, have Ewan's Misery Corner, maybe make that a series, or have other people do other things, and do them like sort of vlog style videos, you know. Back in December last month when I posted that vlog of myself and Jack Boy, we went to Edinburgh, we went to the Edinburgh Christmas markets, and we went round the Christmas market, and we were looking at all the stalls and the decorations and the shops and stuff that were based around Christmas, and we just had a great time doing that. I had a great time editing it. It was well received. So that's like, and that's like vlog style. You know, these YouTubers with like millions of subscribers. There's a difference, right? And I'm going to make another thing. I forgot to mention that as well. I'll write that down on my thing just so I remember. Another thing about the difference between YouTube channels, right? See these channels that have millions of subscribers and it's all like vlog style. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Like that stuff. That's not really me, right? It could be, but really, you know, this sort of set up an idea, that's always been me. Always, like since day one, YouTube has always been the camera there. I'm just sitting on like in this spot, different chairs over the years, but on this spot, talking about whatever, you know. And occasionally we'll do these vlogs. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here. We're going to the Edinburgh Christmas markets. Blah blah blah. They can happen every so often, but it's just not the base of my channel. My channel is me talking and getting to know everybody and getting to know the films and stuff and discovering new things. So it's fine to kind of incorporate that sometimes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the whole vlog style thing more often, but I'm not losing the hint of the channel. This is the charm of the channel. This right here, sitting chatting. And I think maybe that's my issue. Maybe that's why I'm not got millions of subscribers, but I don't need that. This is what I like to do, and this is what I envision my YouTube channel being. So that's the way it's going to continue. And along those lines, I just remembered, so I wrote it down. We're going to be doing vlogs where it's like, not lifestyle vlogs, but like, I'm a very sort of positive person. I'm known as a bit of an optimist. I am a worrier. That's the biggest one. I do worry a lot, but like in terms of like looking at things, I always look at the bright side. I always look at the silver lining. And I'm going to start a series where it is just this. It's just me sitting down with the camera set up on the tripod and I'm just talking for 10 minutes or whatever. And we're just going to be talking about a subject that I don't normally talk about. You know, as a positive person, you know, you put on a front, don't you, to do these. This is getting into the first one already. You put on a front, you put on a brave face, and you do the video, and you go to school, or you go to college, or you go to work with a brave face on because you have to. But there's always, you know, there's another layer inside. You know, that's the deepest thing I've ever said in this on this YouTube channel. So I want to kind of get into that. I want to talk about things I never talk about. I want to talk about, you know, the threats of depression and the dangers of, you know, looking at things in a negative manner and things like that. I feel like I'm very passionate about it. I never talk about it. I never do. I'm always the bright side of things. I'm always the happy times, you know. So, and it's a great thing, but sometimes it's nice to kind of talk about some more serious matters, and that's what we're going to do in the new year as well. So look out for them. Also, we'll be bringing back some old series from 2018 that were cut off after a few months, like FIFA, by the way, and Chris and Cammy Take the Road. You can go back to Cm42TV, they're all still up there, to kind of like check them out and get familiar with the series if you want. But we'll be bringing them back very soon. Just need to get some filming dates sorted and they'll be fine. Also, the Blu-ray updates monthly, hopefully, because in the last sort of 3 or 4 months of 2018 I was doing them monthly and they were so much fun. And they're like the original style of Cm42TV, getting new DVDs and Blu-rays and talking about them on a video. And I'd like to try and get back to doing them monthly, because I think they're like the core base of the channel, you know, so that's an idea as well. And again, what I was talking about with the vlogs and stuff, like being YouTube style, I want to do some YouTube challenges and reaction videos. I've been a big fan recently of reaction videos, finding channels around the YouTube world where people are reacting to comedies, to stand-up comedy and to trailers and things. I'd like to do that too, just because I want to. So that's going to be one of the ones we get sort of going with in the new year, along with YouTube challenges. What I mean by that is, you hear about them all the time, the whisper challenge, the sibling challenge, the whatever challenge. I'm going to try to do them as well. Why not? Let's just throw another series in the hat. We're going to have so many ideas. And as I said, when we incorporate different series from some of the other guys from the podcast, it's going to be just such a busy year. And I can't wait. I'm so excited to get started here on Cm42TV. And hopefully, y'all be here for the ride too. So there we go. It's going to be a great year. I hope everybody had an amazing 2018. And if it was bad in any way, try and think of the good things of the year. Try and think of the happy moments and try and make them, you know, make them overshadow the bad times, and look back at how special 2018 was for a lot of things. We had a lot of negativity in the world with leaders and like politically and all that sort of stuff, but there's always a bright side to something. There's always a silver lining. We'll try and look at that. That's the plan for the new year. There's some video ideas, and I hope everybody is well and has an amazing 2019. Hope everybody had a good new year. I certainly did, and we're gonna keep going along and see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's how we should look at life. We'll see what happens. Until next time, when we start going on the train and getting really busy here on Cm42TV, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. We'll see you next time here on Cm42TV. Stay safe, everybody.